travel in the same lane. They should not, they should stop at the stop signs. They're gonna have to use the same hand signals as bicycles for stopping, turning, different things like that. That seemed like the rule that would be the most common sense rule to apply to that, so, even if he was changing lanes erratically, that would still fall under, something that was chargeable, careless driving, something like that. Although he's not gonna have a driver's license, so it's gonna be harder to actually apply that or whatever, but there's still a charge that could be made. That's the way I kinda looked at it, because he doesn't have to have registration, he doesn't have to have a license, and there was a couple of things, but it's the closest thing that could be applied to those electric scooters. So I think that would be fair enough. He does have the right to be on the road. He doesn't have the right to be in the middle of the road, swerving in and out of the road. I don't get to do that on my scooter, so he shouldn't get to do it on his scooter. So, was that
Or
right?
under the influence.
Yeah, any of those things like that, which should be applied. I mean, I know we do have one exempt person that we all know who can't ride a straight line for nothing, but seems to be,
tries.
but he seems to be walking more than riding here lately. So, but yeah, so other than that, I don't see why, if one of my dysfunctional children can get a ticket get arrested for not stopping at a stoplight on a bicycle, I can't see why that same law can't apply to that. Now he had a warrant for his arrest and some other stuff, but that's beside the point. But, I still think that should be something that could be made aware of, so. Not saying my children are perfect by any means. So.
I have those too.
Is there any classification for it?
None.
No, because there's no CCs, usually motorcycles, at the CC level before you have to register it or be licensed.
And gas scooters.
And these are just, the one that Commissioner Gandy is referring to, that individual said he's doing 42 mile an hour on that scooter.
At least.
At
Yeah.
least.
35 plus, no problem.
And I was on my.
Can you get a speeding ticket for that?
It should be.
35 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
Speed limit,
I mean,
right.
it is enforceable to a bicycle or anything
What do
else,
they do for
so,
an e-bike?
not that I'm physically capable of doing that on a
It's
bicycle.
basically an e-bike.
And
Same thing, I mean,
So do we have
We
like
have to
e-bike
classify them somehow.
ordinances?
Well, just,
No.
whether it's an e-bike or a bike, it's still a bike.
No, I'm saying, is there an e-bike ordinance, like how would they do that?
No.
Because the scooter would fall under that, couldn't
A scooter's just gonna follow under a bicycle, So,
you're gonna fall under a truck if you do, aren't you?
and I've been trying. I
Survival
know.
of the fittest.
I've been trying, but the cops were on the ball. So.
I think maybe, just looking it up here, some other states have some kind of regulation. Gas-powered scooters and mopeds, they can go over 50, that are over 50 cc's or 20 miles per hour, are treated as motor-driven cycles and require driver's license.
But they have gas.
So,
But he said electric, right? You can
Yeah,
say
it's
electric.
electric, so it's not any
But
CCs.
it's over 20 miles an hour on
Right.
electric, so that would fall under that jurisdiction there.
yeah.
But since the state doesn't have anything, it's gonna be hard to.
Hard, right.
So I think the bicycle thing's gonna be about the only thing we can actually apply or use at this time, till the state comes up
Until the
with
state
something.
comes along, right.
So.
Well, who has the right of way? That's all I wanna know, in case I run over one.
Scotty gave
The bigger vehicles, way I look at it.
I mean, pedestrians always have the right of way in a lot of situations, is what I'm saying.
whether they
So,
have a crosswalk or not.
yeah, okay, as long as they're using the crosswalk, yeah.
He's in the back lane.
But if he's in that little scooter, is it give him the right of way just to run across or?
Now, I was in my personal vehicle, when I was just driving, and all of a sudden, it just, in mid
Yeah, yeah.
lane, it just shot over across lanes of traffic.
Yeah, I've seen
Patrick, you have any
that.
words of wisdom on this particular subject?
I think you could look at it and say whether or not the state has anything, if it's based on CC, the size of it, or how fast it goes. It seems like the issue is that person driving pretty careless. And so I think they could get the same kind of citation if they were on a bicycle, and so I think we could probably start with that. And if they have a position that they wanna bring up as a defense, we can deal with that in municipal court. So, that would be my guess. I was trying to look at it and say, the issue is that they're driving carelessly, not that it's got so much horsepower or torque that they're going, 60, let's say, not a speeding issue, but it sounds like it's more of just a driving regardless, or irregardless of everybody else on the road. So that's probably the first place to start, but I think our regs on bicycle and our current ordinances on, careless driving, I don't think it's to the degree of reckless, but careless driving would probably get them running through city court, and that's the first place to start to see what happens, so.
Yeah, oh, yes, sir, I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowe.
Maybe.
But Patrick, now, does state supersede the city? Because I just seen 3 here that I just looked up, and all of them city requirements, city laws, city rules. So,
Well, I don't think, it's a situation where, I don't think the state has preempted it. So it's not like we can come back and say, well, bank robbery is okay in Lovington. So we're not going against anything specific, but it's not like there's a state law that deals with that issue that municipalities wouldn't, because I think most of the time you'd see somebody on an electric scooter, that'd be my guess, here in a municipality as opposed to, by the refinery or something like that. So that's probably why you don't see it on a state level. And then I think the state lets each municipality deal with it, not unlike they do with side-by-sides. If you're in Rio Doso, that might fly up there. It's a little bit different here, so I think we'd be okay. I don't think we're gonna get a constitutional claim that there's some protection that the state gives for that. So, but that's the way to test it out, is go with something that we have that's solid, and it's a careless situation as opposed to whether you have the right or not to ride that on the street. And start with there, a couple citations, and that might fix it, so.
yeah, and I agree with Scotty with the bicycle laws and that,
Yeah.
if they're doing things wrong, they should be ticketed, so.
We'll come up with careless, see what happens.
I'm sure somebody's got a GoPro camera in their vehicle that's gonna catch it.
I'm hoping this is my bumper.
All you have to do,
Sorry, that's supposed to be my inside voice.
But there are, like you take a look at the lanes, we've got specific lanes for bicycles, so we'll just see where they are at that particular time.
sorry, chief, we kinda got off on a tangent.
Yeah, it's all right, it's perfect. Any more on that? Have we got this done?
Not yet, just keep us informed.
One other thing that I just wanted to bring y'all kind of up to speed on is on the 11th. Started on the 10th, we had some flooding at the police department in the basement, well, at the fire police complex. And it rained a little bit that night, so I thought it was something due to the rain. And I just told the sergeant on the shift, just keep an eye on it. And Saturday night, early Sunday morning, at 2 a.m. he called me and says, hey, the basement's underwater. I was, what? So I went down there, and there's about 3 inches of water in the basement. And so I had water come out. We shut the water off to the building. So the next morning, or Monday morning, had a plumber scheduled to be there at 8 o'clock. And we found 4 different cast iron pipes that had splits in them. So we had all that replaced, and had artisan go in there and start stripping out the wall, all the carpet. And they cut about a foot up on the sheetrock all the way around the whole building. So we're dealing with that right now.
But it's doors, the bottoms of the doors swelled, all the cabinets that were in there swelled, so it's a lot.
Yeah, lighting,
Stuff.
drop-in ceilings, the electrical that was in the floors was smoking. So this is gonna start a fire, but I was underwater, so I don't think it will.
Kill somebody though.
Right now, the quotes are about 40,000 but it's, of course, it can all be claimed on insurance,
Yeah.
so.
But what are you gonna do about the problem?
We replaced it all with PVC.
Okay,
I
okay.
had them go up there and I said, if there's any other cast iron up there, go ahead and replace it, get it out of here. I had them get and put a camera in from the street into the building, and we have significant plumbing problems, but it's not causing a problem right now. So being under concrete, it's not under the basement. We'd have to cut the concrete and do all that, so we're gonna leave that dog alive for a little while until it becomes a problem, and then we'll address it then.
And it wasn't the water lines, it was the drain lines, right?
The drain
It was the
lines.
drain lines.
Oh.
So anything that was draining in that station was going straight to the basement.
Well, this isn't the first time.
So it wasn't just fresh water, it was the
Of course
nasty,
not, it's never, yeah.
stinky, yeah.
It's been probably,
7, 8 years since the last time.
no, well, the time I did it would have been more like 20 years ago, maybe 18. Same thing, it had flooded in there, and we went in and cut everything out.
So,
It's been a while, but, yeah, so
You
this
can
is,
tell somebody's about 6 inches or so, 8
Yeah.
inches.
and I don't recall what that was from.
oh no, I was there after the fact.
Explains the big mosquitoes we got though, they're like pterodactyls.
Yeah.
They're huge.
But that's all I have.
All right, any questions for the chief? All right, thank you, sir. Fire chief.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, so we've had another person pass their national registry, and they got their EMT basic license, one of our new people. We have completed and passed, the audit of the 2025 state fire fund. So that was all approved by the state, everything that we used that fund for was approved. And that's an audit we do every year. We have one new hire who will start shift on Saturday. He is an EMT basic. He's actually a new hire, or a rehire that worked for us previously. He's from Lubbock, but he is hiring back on. And then the fire department will be a safe stop on Friday for Halloween from 3 to 6. So, and we're also gonna be participating in the trunk or treat at the high school on Thursday. So we'll be at both places.
Did they move it to Thursday?
The high school one is on Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
The high school one is on Thursday, and then the safe stops are on Friday on actual Halloween.
Right.
The reason the school's doing theirs on Thursday is because they have a football game.
Football game
on,
there, I know.
and it starts at 6.
Well, I thought they were doing it prior to it, but, okay, I'm glad,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you
Yeah,
said
so
that.
that's on Thursday. So we're gonna be, taking part in that as well. So, other than that, we already talked about the basement, so I will stand for any questions.
All right, questions? Oh, Mr. Bolt, sorry.
Did you have a little fire in the Lovington Plains Highway today?
They did today, it was, a hay fire in a barn. Yes, sir.
From wood hay or?
Actually, they're investigating it right now, but, witnesses said they seen a vehicle pull in, somebody come running out, they left, and then they saw the smoke and the fire coming, so. They're investigating that right now.
I seen you guys out there and I seen smoke, so I didn't
Yes, sir.
know how bad it was.
Yes, sir. We've had some grass fires and stuff recently, so we had one, it says the end of last week, it was actually a Knowles fire, but we responded mutually. It was about 40-something acres. So, we had one in our district the week before that was about 10 acres. It's dry.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Bolt.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Couple things I wanted to put out. Skip already started talking about the one, Friday night, safe stops in Lovington for the kids. I know on Facebook they're gonna post places to go. So if you can get out there with your children, the weather's supposed to be nice, enjoy yourselves, definitely. And again, as I always put out there, shop local, eat local, buy local, do whatever you can local, help out our community. There's a lot of other things that we discussed as far as local. But we need to take care of the businesses that we have here. We need to provide them support. So they'll take care of us. That's what I ask. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Commissioner Trio.
Good, oh, good, thank you.
All right, Commissioner White,
I'm good.
Commissioner Gandy.
I'm just gonna say one of the states, I don't know if we're safe stop or not, but Jackson Avenue will start
Yes.
4:30, 5:30, somewhere in there. We have our annual trick or treat, trunk or treat, so be glad for anybody to show up that wants to. We'll get you some candy, a Bible, whatever you need, so.
Coffee?
Serving hot dogs,
Hot
hot dogs
coffee.
and
If you volunteer to serve coffee, that'd be wonderful. I'll let Crystal and Rebecca know that you'll be there to help serve coffee. That'd be wonderful. We appreciate the help. Thank you. So,
We missed you, but Michael did a good job.
All right, good.
You didn't welcome
You chose to stay home, there's a difference.
me. No, I was out of town.
Oh, okay, excuse me. I'm sorry, sir, she's taking your time. Yeah, good.
Well, we continue to work on the accounting records. I provided the council with the income statements and cash balances as of September 30th. So in effect, the county records are caught up
Awesome.
at this point. The issue that remains is the audit. Fiscal year '24, the auditor is working on those, on that. We continue to prod and poke to see if he can get it finished. And we haven't had much success in that, but he's thinking he can have something soon. I don't know what soon is gonna be, to be quite honest. Once 24 is in, then we can start working on 25, although we'll start preparing some of the schedules and all that. I think, I don't know if you have any questions regarding the financial information I provided. I can answer any that you may have. The cash balances, I got a chuckle out of the city manager. He says, "Are these accurate?"
That's the first time I ever saw it. Very dirty look.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I almost fell out of my chair. I'd say that if these were accurate, they're as accurate as they can be, I suppose. You know, if there's any changes, it would be within maybe a coding of expenses from one account to another or something like that. But the overall cash balance is, at the end of September, the general fund has $15,357,000 in the account or in the fund. The cemetery, discussing with the city manager, I think in future periods, and maybe I can have discussions with DFA, I don't really think it's a good, it makes sense to have the cemetery activity as a fund, because the thought process behind a fund is there's a particular statutory requirement, or there's a business requirement. For example, the utility funds, the water and sewer and solid waste, ambulance, they're like money-making activity. The cemetery is never gonna make money. It just has very little revenue. And then it has expenses associated with it, for salaries and maintenance of the property and everything like that. So it seems like to me that all that activity should be reported in the general fund. Because what you're having to do is you're having to transfer out money monthly, quarterly, from the general fund into the cemetery fund. I guess all the funds seem to be healthy. I know that I missed Faye's presentation. They're going to need to do some budget adjustments. And one of them is in the senior citizens. And, so we'll try to get that. The issue right now we're having with DFA is, they have not given final approval of fiscal year '24 budget. They've given conditional approval. They're waiting for the audit of '24. And the DFA report for the first quarter of fiscal year '26 is due by the end of October, which is Friday. So Michael Steininger, who's helping this one last time with the DFA report, he's trying to get clarification if DFA will accept the first quarter report without a final budget. They want a final budget, so we're trying to get past that hurdle. Depending what they say is the approach we'll take as far as how to get that final. But Mr. Steininger has all the balances, everything's balanced and everything's all right, so we'll just see, wait and see. And I guess, I don't know if you have any questions. Let me just say too that I don't know how many of you are aware that we lost 3 out of 4 employees in the water department here recently. And so what I've decided to do is to put Michael Betancourt kind of managing that area right now. So he's helping me with that particular area, and I'm taking care of the actual accounting records and financial statements and things like that. We've replaced all those individuals with new employees. In fact, the last of the 3 began work today, and so now it's just a matter of training, and we're trying to keep the department running as smooth as possible as far as the utility billings and everything, and we're gonna shore up that area because Michael has a really good understanding, should have a good understanding of the way the utility billing flows into the general ledger. And that's one thing that was lacking before. The personnel in the water department just understood their particular task and couldn't see the overall picture, how everything was flowing into the general ledger. So I think financially, the city's very healthy. I know that there's been some concerns within the county with other municipalities as far as their budget and what they're anticipating because of some effects of the gross receipts tax. I don't see that to be a problem in this entity. As long as we can hold expenditures close to the budget. I know that sometimes things come up and you have to, for example, we're gonna spend $40,000, although eventually we get reimbursed hopefully from the insurance, but so there are gonna be occasions where you're gonna have large expenditures, but I think I was kind of projecting if gross receipts stays similar to where it's at, you should be in a very plus position at the end of the year as to what was budgeted. Remember, the budget that was constructed was revenues equal expenditures. No income, no loss. It's gonna break even. And so we'll have to see as we start analyzing the numbers, we'll have to see what changes have to be made to that to get them to work. But I need the commission to understand that what has been accomplished in this 3 weeks, 3 months and 3.5 months is all the banks have been reconciled and all the activity is in the, within the ledgers. It's sorted out. Now we have to go in there. What I'll have to do is go in there and sort it out and make sure it's in the right spots for the fiscal year 25 audit. Fiscal year 25 audit, there's gonna be two big areas that need attention. One of them deals with capital assets. The city has engaged a firm to do the inventory of all the assets. Right now, when the fiscal year 25, assuming that 24 comes in soon, I would say that fiscal year 25 audit is going to come in somewhere around January, February, somewhere around there. It's going to take us a couple of months to get ready for that. And then for fiscal year 26, as long as we're, still working and everything, it'll be right on time. And in fact, the goal would be to try to get the auditor in here, like say September. The goal would be to try to get the auditor in here, like say September, early October, so that you can meet the December 15th deadline. So, right now, with the government shutdown, the federal government shutdown, auditors are lacking guidance on how to deal with the federal portion of the audits because the OMB has not completed their particular requirements. I don't think that will affect the city of Lovington for this year because there's probably not expenditures of more than $750,000 of federal money. So we're not gonna have to have a single audit, what they refer to as a single audit. So, I don't know if anybody has questions. I'll be happy to answer them.
Questions, Commissioner Bowe?
With us not having the audit for 2024 done, how's that gonna affect us with funding that we're supposed to receive in?
Could have a negative effect, I suppose, to be quite honest.
Can we actually miss out on some of that funding because of that?
Well, what's what we're seeing right now, what's happening is recently we received, the city received a grant. And David, help me, for beautification, or that 82,000?
It's for the animal services.
Oh, animal services, okay.
Department, which they say currently that if we don't have it, an audit by December 15th, that could jeopardize.
They're gonna claw back, they're gonna forfeit the grant if we don't have it in by December.
That's a specialized grant. In terms of capital outlay, we have not heard anything, but they're delayed as well.
My concern, and I started pushing harder on the auditor, is that even if the auditor says, let's say he gets done on November 10th, let's just pick a date, November 10th. By the time, we look at it and respond to the audit findings and give him his, and do the draft and go through it and everything. And let's say that it gets submitted by that time. My concern is that other state agencies, other local bodies are also submitting their audit reports to the state auditor for fiscal year 25. And it's kind of like one of these things, get in line, the reports start coming in and they just stack them up and because they like to go through and review them and everything. You can't just submit it and say, okay, we're done, okay, now we're fine. They have to give approval. They go through it and say, okay, we like it, or we suggest you change it, or whatever. So, my concern with this one particular grant is, it sounds like today in the end of October, December 14th is way away, but it's really not, because by the time you submit it in, and then by the time, now they may turn it around in a week, I don't know, it just depends on what their schedules, they have limited staff also, and they get around 600 audit reports around this time of year, so I mean, they gotta go through them and everything, so.
One of the questions I asked Mr. Fierro just today is, assuming we get the 24 audit in by December, and then we get the 25 audit in by February, March, okay, technically we've missed 2 audits in a row, but we're caught up. In effect, we're caught up. Are they gonna hold that against us, even though we're current with our financials, DFA reports, and audits? And I intend to find out the answer to that question.
Yeah, that would be a question to definitely ask.
But there's nothing really you can do about it.
No.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the new auditor, right?
No.
The
Mr.
one that's
Mar-
doing our audit right now currently?
Oh,
This
oh,
is
the
the
auditor.
new one, right?
You're
Yes.
talking about for the.
Yeah, this is a new one we
This is
contracted
the
out with, right?
First year of a
First
three-year
year,
contract.
yeah, that's what I was thinking,
Yes,
this is the
sir.
first. So, on their contract, is there anything that we could pull them back on? Cause I'm just saying, we're late now, got another one coming up, and if we're gonna be late again, if it's gonna be on their dime, somebody needs to pay for it other than us, is what I'm saying.
Well, what you can do within an audit contract, you can write a penalty provision to say, we're gonna charge you $50 a day or $100 a day or whatever the number is for every day that it's late, and it's not our fault. But the fiscal year 24 audit, I haven't seen the contract, but I can almost like 99.999% sure that that provision was not written in the contract. Besides, the auditor, I think at this time would be going, you're the one that's causing, you caused it to be late. You know, so,
Along those lines, I spoke with Mr. Joseph Maestas last week. He's the head state auditor. And it wasn't about this at first. I was calling about the legalities of closed session regarding discussions of audits. And then he asked about the status of our audit and the fact that, you know, the auditor had indicated it would be in by September 30th. And he was very interested in knowing that because they oversee the audit companies. And, you know, when an audit company bites off more than they can chew, then the OSA needs to know about that. It's nothing malicious against the current auditor, but they are aware because a letter was written to them in early September.
Well, the thing is, if we lose funding because of it, you know, that's a,
accounting is important.
Yeah.
And a lot of times local governments do not put adequate resources or emphasis on their accounting, and it can come back and bite you. The problem we have in the state of New Mexico is that accounting firms that do audits a lot of times have to go in and do a lot of the additional accounting requirements to be able to issue these financial statements. And the way they kind of get around an independence issue is they'll say, they'll get the client, the government, to sign off, yes, we understand what changes you made. When in reality, they probably don't, but yes, we do understand what's going on. And then they can issue the report. What the city of now we can't, you know, I'm trying to deal with water that's way down the stream here. What we have to do is get current, or we have to get fiscal year 24 in, get 25 in, and then we're in the current situation, we're current. And then next summer, next fall, not be in this situation. And with my technical skills and abilities, you're not gonna be in that situation where you're not, you know my skills. So, you know, that's all we can do, unfortunately, at this point.
you know, the other thing I was gonna ask is looking at the figures that you gave us, I seen that we have to make an adjustments on some of them. Are we gonna have a budget workshop as far as looking at this, or when do we need to have a budget workshop? After we get the 24 audit done? Just putting that out there.
Well, I would like to have the final approved budget where the state said, this is your original budget, right here, okay? So the 24 has to come in first.
Correct.
And then we have a final, and they write the letter, say, they give their blessing on it and say, now you've got the budget. Then what needs to be done is I think where the municipality has perhaps made errors in the past is the governing board they pass a budget at the beginning of the year, and then that's it. Nobody really pays attention because of things happen in the year, something, you need a new vehicle or, And so I think it's really important that, to answer your question, is we get the audit in, we get a final approved budget. Then we need to schedule a time to say, okay, let's look at these budgets and see what we're gonna do. I think staff has to come to you and say, okay, this is what we have here. For example, the senior citizens. We know it's not gonna cash flow right now, the way it is. The way the budget's established, it's not gonna work. And this is what we need to do. We're gonna have to transfer X amount of dollars out of the general fund to pay for that program. And then it's up to the governing council to say, yes, we're in agreement with that. Or maybe you have something, the board has something they want done in there. The staff has to really be diligent in adhering to that budget. I think what has happened in the past here in this municipality, oh, well, we just need it, let's get it, and it doesn't come back to you, and then next thing you know, you've spent more money, and you're broke, or your cash balances aren't where they need to be, or what have you. You have to have that budget to say, that's a stop sign, you cannot go past that. Get 6 months activity, but given this municipality, I'd say the sooner we can do it, the better, to just try to understand. We can project out, if say, what's the staff, the overtime in the police department, is it too high? Or what are we doing here? Why is this number so high? Or whatever the situation is, you have to manage it, and then the board gives their approval what to do. But you can't be in the dark. You have to shine the light on it and say, this is what it is. 15 million, that's what it is, it was interesting having a conversation with one of the members on the council. They asked me, well, what is the reserve amount? What is that? I see it on there in the budget and everything. Does that mean we have that amount of money, like in a CD or set aside? And I say, well, no. What it says is the budget, whatever the budget is in the general fund expenditures, 1/12 of that budget has to be, you have to have in cash at all times. You can't go below. And why DFA does that is what they're saying in there is, we want to be sure you have 1 month's operating on hand in case something happens. You don't get your grocery receipts, something goes up haywire up north or something. So it becomes really important. So that reserve amount, it's just money that's basically, it's a stop sign, or it says you cannot go past this. You can spend all your budget up to this amount, but you cannot go beyond that number there. That's it, 1/12. It'd probably be a good idea that maybe the 1/12 is set aside in a savings account or a CD or something to say, okay, we can't spend it anyway, let's put it over there and earn interest on it, what have you. So there's part of what I'm trying to, I'd really, at this point, just express my appreciation for the staff that they don't really see me. I'm back in my office all the time. But now that I've got it caught up, I can start doing the managing part of it also. is up to this point, it's just been, my goodness, work as fast as you can to get the numbers. We need the numbers, we need the numbers. Now we know the number. And in fact, today we're already entering in October activity. As we go, I want those numbers in the system. This way, we can have, by the 10th of the month, all of bank statements should be reconciled. Because nowadays, it's all, by the first of the day of the month, it's there, it's all computerized. You can pull it up and see your bank statement immediately. Start working on your reconciliation. It doesn't have to be 25 days later, you're still working on that stuff, you know, so. I don't know. Any other questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay, that's good. I don't wanna take the whole meeting.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know.
I do.
Yeah, we have questions, but
Well,
I
we
feel
got-
like we've spent, you know,
Right.
we're ready to move on, but anyway.
35 minutes.
There you
Everybody's
go.
counting.
Okay, we appreciate it. Mr.
Okay.
City manager.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I would like to thank Ed and Michael and the entire Finance Department for doing a job which we gave them 6 months and doing it in 3.5 months. They've worked very hard, and there's a nice chemistry that has been in place in the Finance Department. As Ed said, he's been in his office, but he's gotten us caught up. Michael Betancourt has been the guy who's dealing with payroll and insurance and the water billing department, and he's got a firm grasp on that. Now, as Ed said, he's gonna get more involved, and something Ed said to me last week, he said, now that we're caught up, and of course, we're worried about the audit, you know, that's gonna come in, he's gonna put a framework in place so that we have policies and procedures that if anybody comes into that department, they know what they have to do and when. So that's, I'm not speaking for Ed, but that's something that's gonna be one of his next tasks. That being said, I have an update on the property at the southwest corner of Main and Avenue D that Commissioner Bolt asked about a meeting or two ago. I spoke with the property owner, and he states that they are currently after that, their intent is to install new Exxon fuel pumps, and the property will resume being an unattended gas station. Eventually, they hope to build a convenience store on the property as well. Our new code enforcement team has hit the ground running, issuing over 200 warning citations in their first 2.5 weeks, mostly for quality of life offenses such as weeds, trash, and junk vehicles. As they continue their training, they will begin issuing actual citations and targeting problem properties and owners for further action. And I would add that last week, people need to know that even though code enforcement citations and some traffic citations are issued through municipal court, you can be arrested if you do not show up, if you ignore it, we'll work with anybody, but they need to take it seriously. Last week, two owners of a property that has been a problem for this city for 15 years were arrested because they haven't worked with Crystal, they haven't worked with code enforcement. So to avoid that embarrassment, I would urge our citizens to pay attention, don't ignore the court, failure to appear, failure to pay, because you can be arrested on these code enforcement citations. Wednesday, Lovington City Hall and Fire and Police and Public Works is hosting a career day with Mary McCraw and 25 students from Lovington High School, and that is to educate them about job opportunities within the city of Lovington. Finally, the GRT number for August 2025 was $1,048,406.76. This marks the 5th month in a row with a GRT number over $1 million. Once again, construction and retail combined accounted for over 30% of overall GRT. Thus, our trailing 12-month GRT average now stands at $976,000 per month. And I'd be happy to stand for any questions.
Mr. Fier,
Yes, sir.
this is a perfect time to ask him, are those figures accurate?
Well, they're from up north, so.
I haven't looked at them yet.
I'm sorry, I jumped in.
I'll never make that mistake again, Mayor. That was the wrong question.
Questions? I have one,
Yes,
since
sir.
you are now over code enforcement. Just so happened, I was traveling, 4th Street, F Street is involved, I can't remember, but it was a property that was on our radar, and we were actively pursuing it.
608 South Third.
It may be on a 3rd Street, but anyway, it's 3/4 of a block, pretty much, and the weeds are literally above the
That's 4th Street.
the
That's
roof.
That's 4th
It's
Street.
on 4th Street.
It's on the radar.
And F.
516 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but if I was a neighbor across the street, next to, or whatever, I would be up here every day until something was done, because it is atrocious.
It is, and it's one of those properties where the original owners slash occupiers died. Heirs live out of state. I don't know if the property taxes are being paid on it. I think they are. But the reason, one of the reasons the weeds were so high is we discovered a water main, a leak in there, a water leak. So it was a, right, Joe?
Yeah. What's in front of the house is reeds. Not weeds, reeds, cattails.
Water.
I know, I mean, but
In order to get reeds to grow in your front yard, there's gotta be a swamp.
it's a lake, yeah.
So, so we got the water turned off, probably been a month or so now. And there's 2 owners, since their original owner, died. So the 2 daughters, one is very cooperative with us. I wanted to send her a letter, and she was gonna sign the property, not necessarily over to us, but give us permission to handle it, and I told her we'd put a lien on it. And she said, that's fine and dandy for me, but my sister's on the other side of that, and she'll fight us tooth and nail. So, I'm in the process, I gotta talk to her to have some type of maybe a Zoom meeting or something to get us all in the same conversation. Because if she's gonna be the one running us up against the wall, then she's gonna be the one receiving citations.
And it also can come if she doesn't want to let us help it through the clean program that we have. We can condemn it and put a lien on the property if it gets that bad.
It's
So-
that bad.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
So
Yeah,
that's why
so
we have alternate ways that our code already would allow us to bring it to you, condemn it, and we can then place a lien, whether they like it or not, place a lien on the property to clean it. We can do that.
Well, I know it's been an exceptionally wet year, and obviously, we were, not we, the city water was contributing to the issue. But with the mosquitoes we've had this year, I mean, this place is, well, I can't even think of a place out in the country that's anywhere close to this bad. So, I mean, especially right in an area, we really need to, I know we've had changeover in a few things, but let's move forward. 'Cause
Yeah,
this is-
me and Joe and the code officers did discuss that this morning. We are working it.
Okay, all right.
It's on our top 5.
Yep.
If it's past 2, I don't wanna, or maybe I don't wanna go look at the other one. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry, it just,
Understood, yes, sir.
It's bad.
I literally would hate to be one of the neighbors. Anyway, okay, sorry about that. Any other questions? Okay, moving along. Ms. Ball.
Mayor and Commissioners, so starting this week, Wednesday, 5th Street from Central to Jefferson will be closed. My NMDOT LGRF grant that I received to rehabilitate that section of road is going to start work. Ramirez and Sons will block off from Central all the way to Jefferson. It shouldn't, there will be no issue with traffic on Central or Jefferson until they need to tie into that. And then, of course, for that day, there'll be a little bump out in that where traffic will have to slow down, but Central and Jefferson will stay open all the time. But 5th Street will be closed. So those people who have homes, Ramirez and Son is supposed to hand out their little flyers today. I don't know if they did or not for sure. I'll find out in the morning. I'm gonna get the PSA out in the morning on the website, for it, and those owners all have alley access to their homes. And of course, the contract, they always try to keep it where they can get to the front drive if they need to. But, you know, there's days that when they're laying fresh pavement, we don't want them to, so, yeah, that project's coming in.
If I may just interject very quickly, because a commissioner asked me about it today. Initially, we had said for the North Love Street lift station project, we would have half of the street closed. It looks like when Mears and Sons block, it's gonna have to block off the whole street, and that's for 7 to 10 days, right by the softball fields. So, sorry.
I think what they need to do is put no through traffic on both ends, right there
Yes.
off Main and right off.
That's usually what they do.
Off Oak, yeah.
So, and then, the Albertsons project, moving right along, me and Robert have another meeting, with the owner this week. We had to make sure, that Robert has access to the lift station that's there, because there's electrical on one side, there's gonna be electrical on another side, and just, you know, we wanna make sure he can still get, the vacuum trucks and anything, any other equipment into that lift station. Cause it's kinda off behind their curbing, it's probably about 13, 14 feet from back of curb. So we're meeting with them, me and Robert are meeting with them more to see if we can do anything for a little bit better access for us in the future. If we've got and you know, right now, we are changing out that lift station too. The contractor's very willing to help Robert lift and move parts in and out over the electrical, and Robert's thankful for that, so, but we just want to make sure that in the future, when the contractor's gone, we can still get in there. Also, the permits for the 500 South Main that Miranda mentioned, they actually did come through with their state permits are approved now, so it's a matter of that company getting it in their schedule to get here and fix those canopies and remove the old ones. I know they were still waiting on their demo permit of the old ones, the permit to build the new ones approved, so. They kinda did that backwards, they should have the demo permit first, but. The Wendy's project, the property is supposed to be closed on this week, so hopefully construction can get started in that area pretty soon. As you've seen, we got color going up on the outside of Albertsons, so everything else is moving along really well. Last month, planning and zoning did 157 permits. Majority of those are still roofing. We are still processing roofing permits on a steady basis from the hailstorm back in May. Any questions for me?
Questions? I have a comment. The Jackson Street renovation that we
Yeah.
went through, I was actually up there this past week, and I realized it was difficult for the citizens,
But it's a
but
beautiful road.
it is really nice, and whenever they are able to work on the grass or whatever between the curb and the sidewalk, it improved that district tremendously. So anyway, just want to say thanks for your continued effort on that, because I know it was difficult, but it made a huge difference.
It does, and I've had several comments from people that live there that were not happy before,
Not happy,
but are
yes,
very
right.
happy now, so, yeah.
Well, thank you. Counselor?
Mayor and Commissioners, don't have anything new. I had a couple of comments on a non-action item. I think the city manager has a workaround on that, and so I don't think I'll have any of those comments. I do at least want to address one thing that Chief Clark brought up. We had talked a little bit about a public service officer. I think that's a really good idea. I think we need to take a look at the number of calls, and that's one of the things that Joe did give to you tonight, is to take a look at a number of calls and see what kind of numbers we would have that public service officer take a look at, what he or she would be able to cover. We could take a look at salaries and see how that offsets. I think we've also got the ability to cross-train those individuals. We could test them out as far as if they are looking to be a certified peace officer, or in the cross-train process, also take a look at some code enforcement issues. The one thing I want to make sure we do when we analyze this and take a look at economics is make sure our insurance company knows. because it's a little bit different putting that person out in the street that maybe doesn't have as much training as a certified peace officer, or some of the ability that they would have in the field, and going into situations that may quickly escalate from a simple car accident to a little bit more. But it's gonna be important to get our insurance involved and see what that does, changes, because that's something we need to factor in also. So, other than that, I'd be happy to stand for any questions if you have any.
Question? No? Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, well, that was one of our longer commission and staff report. Brings us to our public comment time. At this time, if you have something you want to address to the commission, please come up to the podium, announce your name, take 3 minutes or less, and tell us what you want us to hear. Nobody, everybody's shaking their head. Mr. Gandy's trying to keep you in your seat. Nobody's moving, so.
Count to 3, hurry.
1, 2, 3, we're moving on, all right. Okay, Mr. Miranda, this brings us to our non-action item. You can bring us up to date on your workaround.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Lee County State Bank approached Crystal and myself to possibly partner in a project which touches both of our entities, and that's namely ADA sidewalks on the north and south side of their property going from historic Main Street west. There's 300 feet in total. The project is approximately $8,600. Initially, we had been thinking about possibly using LEDA funds through the EDC. Mr. Wall from Lee County State Bank attended an EDC meeting last Thursday, and the EDC, and I'm not speaking for you, Evelyn, but if you want to, the EDC board recommended that the city pays half, but the workaround is that since the Logart LEDA funds don't apply because, number one, it's not retail because our local Logart doesn't cover retail. Number two, you can't fit it under the infrastructure umbrella because that requirement, it requires job creation. It's not gonna do that. It is improving things for our citizens because it's ADA sidewalks. I've researched the municipal gasoline or road tax fund, which helped with the Albertsons project. I've consulted the city attorney and Ms. Ball, and it does cover this project. The city would be paying half. And I don't know if Evelyn has any further comment, but we currently have $152,000 in the municipal gasoline tax fund. So our end would be $4,300, and we'd be getting new sidewalks, and not only that, access from the crossings there from our Main Street project westward. So this would be just a discussion, and we would still do a PPA with the EDC, but the source of the funds would be slightly different.
Questions, Commissioner?
Does that leave you okay on your grant matches?
Do what?
Does that leave you okay on your grant matches?
I do believe so. How much was in the fund?
152.
Yeah, because I didn't get a lot of grants this last year. I only have the two, the Jackson and the LGRF, and so they're taken care
Yeah,
of already.
with the increased GRTs, that fund has been growing pretty quickly. That's a good question.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
Thank you,
Look
sir.
forward to furthering this
Were you
on.
gonna say something?
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Okay.
brings us to our action items. Mr. Gandy.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-083, road closures for Lee County Heroes Program opening ceremony for the first banner for the veterans.
Okay, a motion and second for consideration of this resolution.
So the Heroes Program, the Lee County Heroes Program came to me and asked for these road closures to happen after the parade for pedestrians walking to the parking lot on the north side of the Methodist Church. Because all the parking's down basically by the bank, well, the two banks, and all the parking's south of this area. They wanted Jefferson blocked so people walking across there would be safe getting across there after dark, of course. And The Madison, they wanted it blocked off so they would be able to put their food trucks and vendors and stuff in that roadway. The event's supposed to go from, what was it, 4 to 8, but it actually probably wouldn't actually start at 4, because the parade starts at 4, so it'd be at the end of the parade. But we'd want to block that off, basically, when we block off for the parade. If you guys are okay with having this done, I did ask the Heroes Program to reach out to the 4 property owners on Madison. The church has already approved it, approves the event in their parking lot. It is a ceremony for their first banner hanging.
Question? Commissioner Bowe?
Are they gonna have any, light towers out there at all,
Yes,
Crystal?
they are gonna have some light towers out there. They did talk about that in our meeting. We have one more meeting, Chief of Police and me and Fire, we have one more meeting with them this week, Friday, right? Before, and it'll be our final meeting before their parade, so we'll make sure they have everything squared away.
Yeah, we just wanna make sure that we got good lighting out there so people can see that if you have any little kids out there in the streets. Or
Yeah.
around the streets.
Well, and that's the main reason we wanted to block that street off.
Right,
It just makes it a little safer for this event going
yep,
on.
I agree, thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes,
and Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-084, reappoint Serpo members.
second.
Okay, a motion second for this resolution. Is this
I
you?
guess I should have added Crystal Ball and Mayor Roberts.
It says Kate Avery and.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that, yeah.
I don't know who that person is, I just read the top line.
Right.
So, I guess Kathleen Avery, that would be you, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so,
That is-
let me make a correction on my, whatever it was, motion to appoint Crystal Ball and Kathleen Avery.
I'll second that.
Okay. Have a motion second. I have wholeheartedly encouraged this because Crystal needs someone to be able to go with her, and it just seems like that's been a horrible time for me to attend, so.
Yeah, it seems like every time he is not able to make
No,
meetings.
yeah, bad timing, but anyway.
Our grants do, our grant point system for the TPF and MDOT grants, that rating of how many times you're present or not present carries weight with that grant. So if you're not there, you get deducted points in your grant score.
Who'd go here?
So it's
I
very
know.
important that
So
we're there.
that's the reason I'm all about somebody moving in this. All right, any further discussion? Okay. Good. Shannon?
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes,
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Do I have to? Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for 2025-085, approval of variance for rear yard setback for the placement of a manufactured/mobile home at 818 West Monroe Avenue.
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'm assuming that's you, Ms. Ball.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners, we have a resident who wants to put a mobile home on the vacant lot beside the existing home. They own both lots. So the lot is just a little shy of meeting the proper setbacks for the size of mobile home that they purchased. 3 feet. So the front setbacks, side setbacks are all met with ample room. It's just that 3-foot backyard setback. These lots are 102 foot long, instead of most of our lots are anywhere from 120 to 140 is our main length in lots. There are other mobile homes in the area that don't meet any of these setbacks, so they're coming closer to some of the older mobile homes that are in the area than. P&Z did not have an issue with this. We've issued the setbacks on the rear yard more adequately, as long as we keep that front yard setback intact.
So is that
basically where we go with that.
That is zone A or zone B area?
Huh?
Is that zone A or zone B?
It is zone B.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I stand corrected.
Okay. I'm assuming they are in attendance.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, well,
they're ready.
I know. Usually when we have somebody unusual, it's,
You know
it
it's
pertains
me.
to this, yes.
All right, well, they're not here for the chips and dips.
If
Exactly.
they're not here, I would have had him table it, because they have to be present.
Okay. Any discussion?
So 3 foot is the.
3 foot's what they need a variance for. Instead of
She gonna
being
be
20
flexible or not
foot
gonna
5
be flexible?
inches, they need 17.
You're gonna be flexible, because you're gonna be walk out happy.
The minimum is what, I'm sorry?
The minimum setback they needed was 20 foot 5 inches.
And they've got
17.5 is what they got, yeah. Or what they need. They haven't put the
That's
mobile in
only
there
2
yet.
foot,
They are
2
trying to
foot.
do this the proper way.
She said,
Well, we
They're asking
appreciate
for
that,
permission
exactly.
instead of forgiveness, right?
That's right.
it's 17 and a half.
And 20.
Yes, it's 17
2 and a half feet.
20 and a half?
Yes, 20 and a half is
Half
the
That's
versus
requirement.
Oh,
where, that's
oh.
where he's having the problem.
Yeah.
Sorry to miss a half foot there.
Yeah,
Okey-dokey.
it's 10 inches is good.
Still, I hate variances.
Well, yeah, I'll do it.
I'm going out to the bank, so roll with it.
But
All right.
Trying to fix my code so you won't have to do this.
Bang.
All right.
Hey,
He's
That's
quitting.
it.
So he
Hearing
knows.
no further discussion, Shannon?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
I stand no, but just 'cause that's just what I am.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
So the first.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Yes. Trust me, it'll be ugly, I'm pretty sure. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-086. Approve RFP for cemetery
Internment.
interment services.
Who we bury in.
Well, we forgot
have to
the
put an
N
E.
in there. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second.
There is no N, it's interment,
Well,
not internment.
Okay, well, I,
Her-
We're not
Huckleberry.
interning them, we're interring them.
okay.
I know that's a common,
Can we start charging a rental fee? 'Cause
Huckleberry.
it's
Do we need to put a name? I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Was there
yes.
a bid on
I
that?
was talking about for the person getting
I don't know.
interned.
Okay,
It's probably Dale,
Yeah, it's Dale, it's
Yes.
Dale. It's
You
your
can-
brother,
You can
Dale.
add the name.
brother Dale.
He's been doing a hell of a good job for the last 30 years.
Ventures.
Because I hadn't seen nobody
Wait,
walk
wait.
up out of that
Wait,
grave. walk
don't
up.
let those nasty words come out. He's been doing a job for the last 30
Hey, as long as
years.
ain't nobody falling out of the side of the.
So that would be
Pit, I'll
what,
do it.
D&D? or-
DT Ventures.
DNT back.
Yeah.
DT Ventures.
Ventures, okay.
DT
I guess.
Ventures. Ed Ventures.
And he was the only bidder.
He was
Ventures
the only
and
bidder
Ventures.
and
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I guess we need to add him to my motion, please.
And then for the person interred.
Okay, yes, DT Ventures was the only, bidder that we received. And they're going up $50.
What?
Per
That grave road,
service, I should say. Whether it's a full burial or remains.
Is he
And,
lining them with brick now?
And then also, it's a 3-year contract with options to, two 1-year renewals. in the
Is it,
contract.
does that mean it's a 1 year with
It's-
2 option,
no,
or
it's
it's a
just-
3
3-2.
to a 5-year option?
3-2,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last time he made,
This is the second
that was 5
one.
years ago, his fee, so it's changed just about $50. I think that's pretty good from 5 years back. So
Well, I think we passed that on to the service anyway, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes to the funeral home, and
Yeah.
they handle that with the family.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-087. Approve to advertise ordinance 614, water conservation ordinance.
Yeah, have a motion and a second for the approval of this resolution. City manager, I'm assuming this is yours.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry, I was just
You're both
talking
You're
saying
fine.
about
I
the
didn't
next
do
action
it.
item. So, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, requesting your approval to advertise ordinance 614. As you may remember, several months ago, I did a presentation for the commission about the importance of having a water conservation ordinance on the books. This would be permission to advertise for a public hearing. As you know, a lot of state funding requires a conservation ordinance on the books. We feel that the city's in a position to ask for approval of this now that we've somewhat gotten our own house in order. I'd be happy to review some of the main points of this proposed ordinance, and it would not go into effect until January 1st of 2026.
All right. Any questions, discussion?
And again, this is just to put out.
Advertise for a public hearing, yes, sir.
Correct, I just wanted to make sure that we put that out there,
Yes, sir.
yes.
All right. Shannon?
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-088, approve an animal welfare grant award number 25-DJ 9503-11.
Second.
Okay, motion second for the approval of this resolution. Again, you, sir?
Unless Shannon can cover this, Mrs. Bolt is not here, and Ms. Brock is out of town, so we may have to table this.
Is this the one, the 82,000?
I'm guessing. it
I
is.
think so, yeah.
85?
So this is the one that could be,
Yeah, it's in jeopardy.
Could be in jeopardy.
Yes.
it could be clawed back if we don't have the auditing? Is this the one?
No, I don't think so.
I don't want to say
I don't
yes or
know.
no, because
Yeah,
I have
really
little
don't.
knowledge of this.
I don't.
I say we table it.
Okay.
Because we don't,
All right.
we didn't put it in the agenda, so.
Okay, we have no, okay, then,
Shannon, can you change my motion to table this until the next meeting, please?
okay, and we have a second for that, so, all right. Hearing no further discussion, Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Oh, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion and second to approve the accounts payable.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I just wanted to point out something on page 9, under the police one visa. You look at the bottom, there's a charge for $48 to the Mighty Wash monthly PO. And that was an innocent error by someone in the police department. It's been the policy of the city not to provide car washes, kind of like the county has a program set up for city, specifically police vehicles. I informed the police chief that we can revisit that at a later time if he wants to propose having a program where we have an account with, let's say, Mighty Wash to wash their vehicles, like the sheriff's office. But this, yeah, we're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna take that off or whatever, but that's,
Oh, I'm getting it addressed. It should no longer be on there.
not a big deal, but this Mighty Wash has never appeared on there before, so.
Okay, a couple questions. Page 1, Baker Utility Supply Corp. for $8,500. And I see we have water clamps, brass fittings, water meters and that. Is this, the question is this supplies that were bought for repairs or for inventory?
For repairs.
Okay. Do we have anything, and the reason I'm asking that is because do we have anything in inventory in case?
We have some, but not those that we needed at the time.
Right. So how is,
We gotta have those. I mean, it's just, we've had leaks and, if we don't get those parts.
right, so the reason I'm asking is this something that we want to add to the inventory and boost up a little bit, that if we have a leak, bless you,
Thank you.
that we can get this fixed
Yes, sir.
ASAP, not we gotta get the parts, and they're 3 weeks out.
We've done that, we're in the process of getting the last stuff done, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, just wanted to make sure on that, I appreciate that. Page 3, Griffin Diesel and Auto, wastewater, Unit 27 backhoe overheated. What was the cause of that, and is it
They
fixed?
think it's a cracked head. I mean, it's an old backhoe. We patched it up as much as we can as, to date. We took it in to get that. We're not gonna do anything with it. I think it's cost us too much to fix it. So we're just gonna have to, just do away with that and just find another method of what we're doing.
Okay. Page 7, Pettigrew and Associates. Drainage issue area 513 and drainage issue area 801. I know that we brought that up as far as looking at for when the water accumulates there.
Yes, sir, I believe 513 would be West Avenue J and 801 would be West Avenue C.
And my question is that we paid them for it, when are we gonna be updated on it?
We're working on so they're doing the topographical surveys, and they've done that. We paid, they bill us monthly when they've done some of the work. So that was their first bill that came in on that project we're working on. So
Okay.
we should be getting with them within the next couple of weeks to start devising a plan.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that they were pushing forward on that.
We are.
That we are. Okay, thank you. Other than that,
You're good? All right.
I believe so. Yes.
Sounds good. All right, thank you.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I got one more.
Anyone else?
One more. Sorry about that, Mr.
Now, I was
Gandy.
gonna say, Mr. Gango.
Page 4.
Come on, we're gonna be below 7 o'clock, come on.
iWorQ system, 7450. It says fire inspection. What is that for? I've never seen that before, so that's why I'm asking.
The iWorks.
Yeah,
They had to come and do some work in the fire department for, all of our internet systems and stuff. We were having a bunch of problems, there's so many wires and stuff up there, it looks like a rat's nest up in the ceiling, so they had to come and do a bunch of work on
so
that.
this is basically IT?
Yes, sir.
I was just asking because I really have not seen them guys before.
No, and the fire marshal did get, so a lot of us have moved to iWorks. I do it with my permitting, the water and the street department, they've all gotten modules in iWorks. The marshal did get a system, a module in iWorks too, to do all his inspections and keep track of those inspections.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're used by about 6 departments in the city use iWorks.
Mhm.
Water, sewer, streets, planning and zoning, code enforcement.
Okay.
All right. No, okay. Thank you, Mr. Vogt. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Commissioner Gaines,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
All right. With that, the items of the agenda are exhausted. We are adjourned.
Excuse me, your coat.
Yeah.
Okay.